Okay, so this is my book, Box of Butterflies, and I have something very special to share with you today. You ready?
Roma Downey is smiling and joyous sitting down with CBN at her Lightworker studio outside of LA. She's excited to talk about the release of her new book, Box of Butterflies, which delves into some of her darkest moments.
My mother, unfortunately, died unexpectedly when I was just 10 years of age. It was like the lights had been turned out, and it created a lot of heartache and confusion. And I thank God we were a family of faith, and so, you know, we were able to really lean into our faith to support us. And I remember going up to the city cemetery with my dad, and a butterfly flew up behind the stone. And my dad said, "Would you look at that little butterfly? Sure, that could be your mother's spirit right there." And in the midst of my, heartbreak as a child, it brought me such comfort, the idea that my beloved mother, somehow was still with me. It also started just to represent that God was with me, and anytime I felt down or, that I was struggling, and I would move into prayer, unexpectedly these butterflies would show up, maybe on a truck or on a billboard or a tattoo or something, and they just came to represent hope and the goodness of God.
Roma, who lost her father while she was in college, talks about how God ordered her steps from Ireland to the Big Apple, and how she took a bold step at an audition, landing the role of her career as an undercover angel named Monica on the Acclaimed TV series Touched by an Angel.
There was a scene in each episode. We called it on the set the angel revelation scene, and they would say, "God help me, please help me." And that was the moment as the angel that we were able to step in and say, "I'm an angel and I have been sent by the Almighty to tell you that you are a special child of His," And who hasn't wished for that moment in their own lives, right? And maybe it won't come so profoundly for us, but God is there in all the small ways and in all the kindness that other people show you. I have seen God work through a smile of somebody in a supermarket in a morning that I'm feeling stressed out. I've seen Him work in big ways in my life. He brought Della Reese to me. I was a girl that needed a mother, and Della Reese stepped into my life to be the mother that I'd always longed for.
Roma lost her Touched by an Angel co-star and friend, Della Reese, in 2017. She finds comfort in knowing Della gave Box of Butterflies her blessing before it went to print. The pages tell how their relationship bloomed beyond the set.
I loved her, of course, but I really admired her. She was a pioneer in so many ways, and she was so courageous, having come up in the 50s and 60s as a Black woman in this country, and the things that she had to endure. Just had so much courage and grace. And while we were working together, her only daughter died. And so I became the daughter that she was looking for, and she became the mother that I was looking for. And only God could do that. When I asked her if she would honor me by writing the foreword, and she said, "Where do I sign up?"
Her book is filled with scriptures and uplifting quotes from famous poets and influencers, from Nelson Mandela and Helen Keller to Rick Warren. They're words of kindness and love Roma says we all need to hear from time to time.
I see when I go on my social media that there's a lot of people hiding behind the anonymity, Instagram handles or Twitter handles, and just saying the most hateful things to each other. And I think that's one real practical way that we could show up in our faith by, don't be mean. Let's speak words of love to each other. Let's respect each other. Let's reach out and find a little bit of unity.
The actress, producer, and author recently launched the website lightworkers.com, which features short video clips that highlight the goodness all around us.
It's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. And I love that. It's like, instead of sitting around moaning about all the negativity or the bad stuff that's happening, get up, get off the couch, and do something about it.
Roma acknowledges God's love as the light that guided her through darkness and shaped her into the woman she is today.
Oh my gosh, God's love has just taken the girl who thought she was unworthy. You know, there was a little child in me somehow thought if I had been more or better or had done something different, that my mom wouldn't have died. And it was the love of Jesus. And, you know, they're just leaning into knowing that that unconditional love supply isn't going anywhere. And the promise through our faith and through Jesus that my mom might be dead, but I'm going to see her again. And this is the promise that we all have.
And as for her hopes for a box of butterflies,
I know that there's somebody out there that's hurting, that's feeling the pain of a loss of somebody they loved. And I wrote the book just for them. I think other people might enjoy it, but I know there's one person out there that's really gonna, you know, is gonna bring home to God. And that was my plan for the book, that it would bring people home to God, that it would, you know, that it would remind them. And so I pray that's what it does.